Yeah, it's obviously like really prevalent in Ireland at the moment, and there's been a lot of ports and stuff blocked. There was kind of a lot of kind of manhandling of people in tractors and stuff during the weekend as well, with pepper spray and stuff, which I'm not even sure if it's legal in Ireland.
Just going to gaslight us now, lads. They know we can't go back, like.
You understand?
Yes.
I think it's crazy what's going on. The government need to go. Same as Canada, same as Trudeau. You know what I mean? What happened to truckers over there? Only they froze the bank accounts over there. It's a disgrace.
I'm a working man, grown up all my life, voted Labour. And I think the Labour Party left down the workers as well.
Alexandre pour Rebel News, ici à la raffinerie de Whitegate, dans le sud de l'Irlande, la même où il y a quelques jours à peine, d'importantes manifestations, des blocages et une intervention policière musclée ont eu lieu.
Lads are linking up. Not budging. There's 10 tankers coming down the road getting a full yard escort. There's a tanker there waiting already. The tankers are just around the bend over.
Avec la flambée des prix du carburant, alimentée par la taxe carbone et la hausse du pétrole liée aux tensions en Iran, beaucoup d'Irlandais disent que c'est trop. Agriculteurs, camionneurs et travailleurs se sont mobilisés pour envoyer un message clair au gouvernement. Écoutez-nous.
There's 10 cents gone off diesel and petrol. There's 9 cents went on the pumps last night. We are running to stand still. We can't do it forever.
The government could afford to write off the VAT on fuel. The government could afford to at least half the tax they're taking in order to save the businesses of all these people.
Thank you for watching Rebel
News from Canada.
Thank you very much, because it's them tyrants inside there that are destroying the Irish people of this country.
Des convois ont pris la direction du centre-ville de Dublin pendant que les routes et les axes stratégiques étaient bloqués un peu partout au pays. Ici même, à cette raffinerie, un point névralgique de l'approvisionnement en carburant, des camions-citernes ont été empêchés d'entrer et de sortir. Au cours de la fin de semaine dernière, la situation a dégénéré. La police anti-émeute, appuyée par des unités militaires irlandais, est intervenue pour démanteler les blocages et disperser les manifestants. Dimanche, les autorités avaient repris le contrôle et le même jour, le gouvernement a annoncé en urgence un soi-disant plan d'aide avec un allègement temporaire des taxes sur le carburant.
The government is now extending the temporary measures to reduce excise duty on petrol, diesel and marked gas oil from the end of May to the end of July. Further reducing mineral oil taxes, the government is by 10 cents per litre on petrol, 10 cents per litre on diesel and 2.4 cents per litre on marked gas oil. Postponing the increase in carbon tax from May until the budget in October.
Mais le premier ministre, Micheál Martin, a refusé de rencontrer les manifestants, affirmant qu'il ne représente aucun groupe officiel. De leur côté, plusieurs médias et élus ont tenté d'étiqueter ce mouvement comme étant d'extrême droite, une accusation que plusieurs personnes sur le terrain rejettent complètement.
I didn't attend any of those protests, and the reason why I didn't, it was overtook by the far right.
Every time anybody opens their mouth in this country, if you're not with the narrative of the government, they call you far right. That's what they label us, far right.
We're not far right.
No matter what. We might be right, but we're not far right.
Et alors que la colère ne semble pas retomber, d'autres manifestations pourraient survenir. Nous nous sommes rendus ici à Whitegate, ainsi qu'à Cork, pour parler avec les gens, pour leur demander leurs opinions sur, premièrement, ces manifestations et qu'est-ce qu'ils pensent vraiment de la réponse du gouvernement et des forces policières. Donc, allons écouter ce que les gens ont à nous dire.
Well, I mean, it's Trump. So he shouldn't have started the war. And it was a big mistake. So, and what's happening here now is the government put the price of oil up and petrol, but they put it up before the war started. So we're really confused on why the price of oil is so high now, you know?
I completely agree with them.
It affects all of us. It affects me at the moment because I have to drive up and down to town, but they have to stand their ground. We all have to stand our ground. You know what I mean? And I took my time coming up and I was delayed, but I'll get over it and it'll be fine, and they're doing their best.
Always justified the protest. I think some of the tone of the protest of the protesters went a little too far, but yes, I agree with the protest.
I think it's crazy what's going on. The government need to go. Same as Canada, same as Trudeau.
You know what I mean? What happened to truckers over there? Only they froze the bank accounts over there. It's a disgrace.
Well, I think it's a proper disgrace, you know. We have to go to do for our country, love, you know. Mm-hmm. With the price of diesel and the price of gas and things like, it's very, very hard on Ireland to do it. So that's why we had to protest, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's not over it, love, you know what I mean? We will do to get our government out, as simple as that.
Yeah, it's obviously like really prevalent in Ireland at the moment, and there's been a lot of ports and stuff blocked. There was kind of a lot of kind of manhandling of people and tractors and stuff during the weekend as well, with pepper spray and stuff, which I'm not even sure if it's legal in Ireland. But it's definitely something that's needed. It's definitely something that needs to be supported, because diesel's gone up by, I think, around 45 cents alone, and especially for tractor diesel, it's gone up something like 70 cents in the last couple of months. Fuel for houses like oil and stuff like that has gone up by about €400 per 500 litres. It's crazy.
I 100% agreed with him. The price of the fuel here is very expensive. Our government have taken no notice of the local community or farmers or business in general that depend a lot on oil and home heating oil, you know. It's been absolutely disgraceful by our government what they've done.
Do you think it was justified what they did, like blocking refineries?
100%. Micheál Martin, or Micheál Martin, as we all like to call him down here, has been fucking this country for years. Mm-hmm. Absolutely raping the Irish people, taking fucking money out of their pockets that doesn't need to be taken. Over 50%, I think, out of the $2.20 we pay for a litre of diesel, $1.20 of that goes to the government.
Well, I can understand why they did it, but I don't think it was right that they blocked the road the way they did, but I think the guards handled it well.
We saw how the police handled the protests. We saw lots of arrests, pepper spray. Do you think the police did handle correctly?
No, they didn't handle it, no. We have a right to protest. Mm-hmm. Everybody should have a right to protest. This is a democracy. I mean, America's a democracy, Canada's a democracy. We have a right to get out on the streets and tell them how upset we are. Mm-hmm. So, the police were heavy-handed, and they shouldn't have done it.
I do think some of them were probably on a little bit of a power trip. They're being told what to do as well. It's the same bringing in the army. Like, that's not their job. That's not their job to do that. You know what I mean? So I don't think the army and all that should be brought into it. They have no choice. They have to do what they're told, and they are. But they get a bit of a doing off for it, though. Yeah. You know, and I don't think that's fair. They're doing their job. They have to do it, and it's not fair. But the farmers have to do their bit. They have to do it. Yeah.
I got the minister called for big heavy lift trucks to move the tractors. He wasn't going to send the army in against the people. I don't think any minister with any ounce of credibility could do that.
Terrible freaking getting the army in. Like, the last time the army was deployed against their own people was during the Civil War. Do you know what I mean? When we were fighting for our rights, for our country to be independent. And now look at it, like they're deploying fucking armed forces to go and stop some farmers. The farmers are the ones who put all the food on all our tables. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's terrible. It's just fucking terrible. I'm a self-employed. Do you know what I mean? I work on my own. I've got my one van. It's costing me nearly £200 a week just to put fuel in the van, just to go to work.
They all need to go. They're tyrants. Same as COVID. They did the same thing in COVID. Mm-hmm. They locked people down for what was basically the flu. We the longest lockdown in the world nearly. It's a disgrace.
Poor young lad that got pepper sprayed yesterday. Thank God he's around to tell the tale. Are your eyes all right? What's it sore? Yeah. Eyes? Yeah. What else? What about your nose?
Didn't hear anything about any protester being beaten up, but I did hear of some young boy that had been pepper sprayed, but I don't think that young boy should have been there in the first place, and I would think that it was probably, I don't think he would have been pepper sprayed on purpose.
Do you think the police handled correctly the protesters?
No, absolutely not. 100% no. Totally overhanded altogether. Went too strong altogether. I mean, these were all working class people. They weren't troublemakers or anything like that. They were all farmers and just wanted to go about their daily business and wanted to do it with a fair price of diesel and whatever, you know. I mean, the country's gone very expensive. Everything is very expensive, you know.
I mean, we want our rights in our country to bring the fuel down, do you know what I mean? That's all I have to speak about, love, do you know what I mean?
We're going to come in, we're going to fucking stand our ground, we're going to take back for what needs to be taken back. There's a housing crisis, there's a homeless crisis, there's the fuel crisis, and it's all to do with Micheál Martin's government. It's been the same shit for the past 30, 40, 50, 60 years. however long they've been in power. No one else has gotten a chance to get into power. They do everything they can to stop other parties getting into power. And they're a dictatorship, that's what it is.
Are you surprised that the non-confident vote passed?
No, because they're all trying to save their jobs, basically. They know if there's no confidence, they won't get back in.
It just shows that there is a very high amount of them that are not competent in the government, but we keep voting them in. We keep voting them in.
Well, that was never going to fail. Yes, I think by and large the entire population has no confidence in the government, but they had the numbers to carry it.
But the government didn't fail.
I think they did. 100% they failed.
Yeah.
They failed the people, they failed the nation, and they're still failing the nation. Look at like all the immigration we've had, people leaving the country, all the young trades. Even myself, I lived in Australia for 10 years because Ireland just wasn't viable, you know what I mean? My younger sister and my mother are still out in Australia. They can't come back. My younger sister can't come back and get a job over here. She can't afford a house over here. Do you know what I mean? I'm lucky enough. I've got a decent trade. I'm a plumber. I make some decent money. I can afford to live over here, but it's struggling. Like, do you know what I mean? Everything is struggling. I haven't had oil heating in my house for the past 3 weeks. Just can't get oil. Not that I can't afford it. I just can't bloody get it. None of the oil companies will send it out to us.
N'oubliez pas d'écrire un commentaire pour nous donner votre opinion. N'oubliez pas de vous abonner et de partager cette vidéo. If nothing changes, what the future looks like for Ireland.
I think it'll be very bleak. There won't be an awful lot, like we have a very declining population as it is. Even the Irish language has gone down. Not an awful lot of people speak it. Gael talks are nearly gone out of place. It's very hard to keep a native kind of country like this going. And like there is a lovely saying in the Irish language that is Tirgan Changa Tirgan Anam. So it's kind of like a country without a tongue is like a country without a name. And I do think that the Irish culture and population is dying out because people have to go and immigrate to get anywhere in life. Mm-hmm. So it is really sad. I don't think Ireland will be here in another couple of years. It'll just be all the Irish will be spread out. It won't be. It'll be a very different Ireland.
Riots on the street, I'd say. To be honest with you, because if there's a crash like what happened here in 2007, 2008, this place will erupt. I think there will be riots. To be honest, it's going to be dodgy. Like
I suppose immigration is a huge problem here. You know, I mean, our culture is being, I suppose, destroyed in many respects because there's so many asylum seekers coming into the country, and they're illegal immigrants. They're not fleeing persecution. Mm-hmm. They're just here for economic reasons. So I think that's a big reason. That's a big problem we have here.
If nothing changes, what's next for Ireland?
Next is and I don't show my face because they'll probably try and arrest me for saying this, but we need to go into that fucking Dáil building and drag them all out by their fucking ears.
It's been the same for the last 40, 50 years, the same government. I don't think it's going to change in the next 40, 50 years.
But it's recently that the people are raising up, though.
A protest doesn't make a revolution.
What make a revolution?
Well, tear up those bricks there on the ground there and start lobbing them through windows.
Is there any party that represent the people?
You see, that's the problem in Ireland. We don't have another party that's going to represent. They reckon Sinn Féin, but in my opinion, Sinn Féin is some of the same. Do you know what I mean? They're all just going to do it the same crap anyway. They tell the public, oh yeah, we're here to help, we're here for the people, we're here for this. They're all going to do the same shit once they get into power. You know what I mean?
No, that's just it. There's none. I mean, we have a coalition government. They're basically the same. They have basically the same policies. It's like the Republican Democrats of a few years ago. They're very similar in the States, you know. Mm-hmm. But now we're just all the same. They're just all the same.
Do you think there is a party that can represent the people?
No. I think the Labour Party is not the Labour Party anymore. I'm a working man, grown up all my life, voted Labour. And I think the Labour Party left down the workers as well.
Do you have a message for the other countries that are facing the same kind of problem?
Yeah, I'd say stand up to the government, get rid of them, because they're all puppets. They're all puppets for the elites, let's be honest. Mm-hmm. They'd say one thing to get elected, and when they go in, then they go back on everything.
Yeah, I would say keep fighting for it, because if there's power in numbers, and like I think if everyone kind of pulls together, something has to change, because it can't keep going the way it is. The wages don't match the way that people are working really hard, probably harder than ever before, and they're getting less for it. Like, the taxation is ridiculous, the housing crisis is ridiculous, everything's very ridiculous at the moment. It needs to change in every country.
Nous sommes rendus ici en Irlande parce que nous pensions que c'était important de couvrir ce qui se passait par rapport aux manifestations liées sur le prix du carburant. Nous voulions donner la voix à ces manifestants. Si vous aussi, vous pensez que c'était important, vous pouvez aller sur thetruthaboutirland.com. Vous pouvez donner ce que vous pouvez pour nous aider à défrayer les frais reliés à notre voyage et n'oubliez surtout pas de partager cette vidéo.